Do you think North Korea plays a part in Bible prophecy? Well, here again, I believe we're in the time of the build-up toward the final tribulation period of 7 years. I believe we're very close to that. I believe we're very close to the time when the coming of Christ for his own in secret and snatching out of the true church, which is made up of all true believers in Jesus. I believe that's very near. But even though that's near, North Korea is not specifically in prophecy. It's part of an overall subject of prophecy called the kings, plural, of the East. The kings of the East are mentioned in Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12, and it's plural, kings, plural of these. So there's this power block that will exist in the last days of the powers from the East united together into a power block in order to be able to fend against the other spheres of power. The Bible speaks of the power of the revived Roman Empire, the power of the South, which is the Muslim powers linked together, and the power of the North, which is headed by the descendants of Magog, Meshach, and Tubal, which are the modern Russians. So I believe that North Korea would be a part of the kings of the East, but not specifically as it mentioned in Bible prophecy. Will the USA just sit back and watch the Middle East push Israel around? Well, it's hard to know how to answer that, because with our present administration under President Obama, we have definitely taken a turn away from Israel. We're trying to force them into a disastrous decision to allow the Palestinians to set up a state within their borders, a state that makes them almost indefensible, a state which the Palestinians want to use as an organizational military point and strategic point to destroy the rest of Israel. And the United States is now pushing Israel into an agreement to do this, even though the Palestinians have not agreed, or they have not fulfilled even one of things they have agreed to, such as recognize Israel as a state, much less the most important thing, recognize Israel as a Jewish state. They won't agree to that, even though they insist that their state be only Muslims. And they want to push those who claim to be direct refugees of those who left Israel in 1948. They want to push them not into the new Palestinian state that would be formed, but into Israel itself, which would virtually wipe out the state of Israel. So I think that we have to pray that God will not judge us for bringing such disastrous circumstances upon Israel. We're definitely turning away. There are still Bible-believing Christians in the country, the USA, who are trying to help, but in this phalanx of political change that's taking place in the United States, it doesn't look good. I see only one thing that, well, this is my limited vision, but I see only one thing in my way of analyzing all the prophecy I know about these times, and that is there's one thing that can save Israel, and that is if they would hit a massive oil find. Then they would not be beholden to the United States for loans and money. They would not be beholden to us for a number of other things, and they would have enough oil to be able to make their own deals, and people would have to come with the hat in the hand to them. I believe that's going to happen. I believe Israel is going to soon make a massive oil find, oil and gas, in their territory. And that would make them line up with Ezekiel chapter 38, where it says they will, in the future, be invaded by a Russian-led Muslim confederacy headed by Iran. They're going to be invaded because of jealousy over the great wealth they've accumulated and the fact they've become the industrial center or the economic center of the earth. It talks about them being at the center of the earth. So, I on the one hand, I know Israel can't be destroyed completely. There's going to be a believing remnant that God will keep through the tribulation and make the kingdom out of them that he promised. But as I look at how God's going to do that, oil has to play a big role. Is Abaddon or Apollyon Satan, or is he another fallen angel? Well, in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, it talks about a fallen angel that is the king over this vast army that's going to rise up during that 7 years just preceding the return of Jesus Christ to the earth in the second coming. And it says this about him: they have a king over them, the angel of the abyss. His name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek he has the name Apollyon. Both of these names, both in Hebrew and in Greek, mean destruction or the destroyer. This is apparently a fallen angel, and we know them also as demons, who is very, very powerful. We know from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, that the fallen angels are in a very organized army, and they have various gifts of power. And this one is not Satan. He is another very powerful angel under Satan, who is in charge of especially terrifying destruction of mankind and the earth in that period. And so in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 11 and 12, it shows that he is part of an especially dreadful period called the second woe, which is singled out as a terrible part of the series of judgments known as the judgment of the seven trumpets. So I don't believe this is Satan. I believe that it is one with great powers, but in another specific role.